The San Antonio Spurs beat the Denver Nuggets last night, and I absolutely loved it. But what did you think about that win?
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Haven't done a video in a while. I caught the second half of last night's win, 128-120, over the best team in the Western Conference, Denver Nuggets, and I got to say, I was going nuts. I was clapping at the end of the game. I jumped on my seat at one point, and just, it's a feeling I haven't felt in a while. Just like, yeah, we show the world that we can still compete. And I wanted to talk to you guys about that win, some things moving forward with the team, and just, I haven't done a video in like 2 weeks on the Spurs, so I just want to talk to you all. Drop a comment down below, your thoughts on last night's win. Did you love it? Did you hate it? We're somewhere in between. Hit that thumbs up if you like the video if you're a Spurs fan, and subscribe for more Spurs content. So let's get into the video. What's going on here? Well, I know some people are probably saying, I hated this win, Rich. You know, it's going to mess us up with the draft pick. Well, we take a look at the standings right now, and this is all the teams that are under 500. I think we're going to finish third worst in the league. We're 2 games better, if you will, than the Houston Rockets and Detroit Pistons, who are just absolutely pathetic this year. And with only the 16 games left, I can't see us catching. We're definitely not catching the Orlando Magic or anybody above them. Charlotte's 5 games ahead of us in the win column. They also have 2 more games remaining than we do, so I don't think we're catching them either. And just the way how bad Houston and Detroit are, seriously, it's like bad every year. I just think we're slotted to finish third, which is going to give us a top 3 pick. And correct me if I'm wrong, Spurs fans. You guys have said this a lot in the channel. Don't we have the same chance at the number 1 overall pick as Detroit and Houston? Isn't it 14% for the 3 worst teams in the NBA? Maybe the 4 worst teams. I'm not sure what that is in regards to that. That being said, my goal for this season, the rest of the Spurs season, is continue to fight. Maybe get an occasional big win, one that shocks the NBA world. Finish third worst in the NBA. That's right. You're hearing it now. I do want us to finish right pretty much where we are, third worst. If they get a little worse, so be it, but third worst. I don't want us to move up any further than that, because if you look at the standings, we're probably not. We're already eliminated from the playoffs, so get us a top 3 pick, probably number 1. And also, this is kind of important to me, not have the worst Spurs record of all time. Who holds that? Yeah, that's my boy, David Robinson, right there. However, the 1996-1997 Spurs were dealt a very bad hand, where David Robinson only played in 6 games. He missed 76 games. Broken foot, back injury, maybe being held back a little bit too at the end of the season, not throwing him in there, maybe for injury concerns, maybe to tank a little bit, whatever it is. And then Sean Elliott also missed a crap ton of games. I think he missed 43 games that year, only played in 39 games. When you're missing your MVP, the guy that's been carrying the franchise since he joined the team, and then your only other all-star on the roster, and I know Dominique Wilkins was there. He was past his prime. He was our leading scorer. I think he was 37 that year. So, but I'm a little asterisk on that only all-star. I know he was there. But still, when you're missing the franchise, if you will, you're set up to fail. And that team failed, going 20-62. However, this team that we're watching right now has been not failing because of injuries. It doesn't bother me this Spurs team was so bad because of the injuries, and that poor record did convey into a Tim Duncan draft pick who became the greatest San Antonio Spur of all time and got us 5 championships. Thank you very much. I'm wearing his jersey right now, by the way. Bada boop. Anyway, the team we have now has kind of been set up to fail. What I mean by that is, if you take a look in the last season and this season, I thought, and I think a lot of you are right there with me, Spurs fans, we thought this was the backcourt of the future. DeJounte Murray, Derek White are going to be a terror, the irresistible force, the immovable object, and we're possibly going to win a championship with this duo. Well, not the case. DeJounte's in Atlanta, Derek's in Boston, and that's that. Moving forward to this season, we traded arguably our best starter in Jakob Poeltl and arguably our best bench player in Josh Richardson. Jakob went to Toronto, and I don't even remember where Josh went at this point. So many trades, I can't keep track. And there's this. Look, we've talked about this at length, but when you have a first overall pick, and granted the Spurs couldn't have seen the off-the-court issues coming, but when your first overall pick is not on the roster a year and weeks into the next season, that is going to hurt your franchise, and it's clearly going to hurt your team moving forward into that season, especially when he was expected to be a big part of the team moving forward. So that really kind of screwed things up big time. Just and this season, You know, I've seen Keldon Johnson get some criticism from many NBA analysts. I know his efficiency is absolutely terrible this year. His defense has not been good either. But him and many others have not been really, again, put into a position to succeed. Devin Vassell has missed a lot of time due to injury. Trey Jones has missed a lot of time. Jeremy Sohan's missed some time. Keldon himself has missed a few games. Our original starting lineup of Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, and Jakob Poeltl is just that lineup played very little this season together. And it's just you can't win games when you have a different starting lineup every single week. When your bench rotation is different every weekend, some of that might be Greg Popovich. Some of the blame could be on him, where he's just experimenting. I mean, last night's game, Mamu getting minutes in the fourth quarter. I was like, "Who's this Mamu guy? This is awesome. Who is this guy? Did we get him from a trade? Get him off waivers? I can't remember. We made so many moves." But these guys I don't want this young team to finish 19-63 and be labeled the worst Spurs team of all time when so much has been going against them with all the trades, with the Joshua Primo situation, with a ton of injuries this year. I want them to finish at least 21-61 and continue to grow, continue to fight, continue to develop, see our rookies exceed. And Jeremy Sohan has I did a video on it, the way he has developed from game one to where we are right now. I'm really excited about what he's going to bring moving forward. I really am. Malachi Branham has shown flashes. Blake Wesley, unfortunately, injury derailed a lot of his season, but he's shown flashes. I think last night he went off for 30 points in the G League. There's still a lot to be excited about. And who knows, next season, or not even next season, pretty soon we could hear, with the first overall pick, the San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson. There's a few other names I see you guys like out there if we draft second or third. But we could have that franchise player that, quite frankly, we really haven't had since Kawhi Leonard. No disrespect to DeJounte Murray, DeMar DeRozan, but when I think franchise player, I think the guy who can make the players around you better and bring your team to the playoffs and then maybe even a championship. And Kawhi's proven he is that guy. Tim Duncan was that guy. I think David would have been that guy had he had a little more. He was that guy. I mean, they didn't have a lot of help, and he had a different head coach every freaking 18 months. So he was that guy, just circumstances were not in his favor. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. As far as content on the channel, I am going to try to do a Spurs video. I really want to try to do a Spurs video at least once a week. With the draft coming up, I want to do more draft possibilities for the Spurs. If we don't get the first overall pick and say we do draft right where we're slotted right now, third overall, who are we going to take? And continue to do the little NBA shorts that I've been doing. The most recent one was Shaq breaking the backboard. I've enjoyed doing those. I've been very busy, which is why there's not as much content. And as I said before, with the Spurs just being hard to watch at times. Not last night, but hard to watch at times and getting blown on a lot. It's just I don't want to commit 3 hours to doing a live stream when I can be hanging out with my friends. Maybe that'll change next year when we get a huge draft pick. Maybe I can devote more time and start going live again, but I'm really enjoying my time with my friends. And I know you guys understand, and if I talked about this before, you got to put, well, for me, God, family, friends, and YouTube. And I'm enjoying the season, though, still, even though it's been tough. And let me close with this, because I didn't talk about it. This is sports related. UFC 285 in Las Vegas was an amazing experience. I just can't say how awesome it was to see the UFC live. Even the weigh-ins, which are free. If you ever go to a UFC event, the weigh-ins are free. Highly recommended. Mine had a little bonus. There was the Q&A at the beginning of the weigh-ins with 5 UFC fighters, some of them Hall of Famers. Then there was the Roadhouse remake being shot after that Q&A before the actual weigh-in. So there's a lot of nice surprises, and it was an awesome weekend. If you've never been to Vegas, definitely check it out. A lot of interesting people out there. I'll just leave it at that. When you're walking the strip, you're going to get some interesting people come up to you, and all I can say is just keep walking, just keep walking. And because I love this UFC event so much, I'm going to try to go to UFC, I think it's 288 in May, which is in New Jersey, which is about a 2.5-hour drive for me. And right now the main event might see Triple C, Henry Cejudo come back. And it was a great experience. And, I want to thank you guys. You guys have kind of opened me up to traveling. I didn't travel much. Prior to the trip to San Antonio in December, I hadn't flown in, like 5 years, and I just rarely ever really left my little bubble. But that trip to Texas really changed things, and that was really from you guys saying, when you come to San Antonio, when you come to San Antonio, when you going to see the Spurs live? And finally I said, dang, I got to go to see the Spurs live, and I did. It was an awesome experience. Now going to Vegas this month. And then I have a little short vacation to New Hampshire next month, and then New Jersey, a little short vacation in May. So I discovered I like traveling. Go figure, at the age of 45, and I can't thank you guys enough for this. You, my viewers, my subscribers, my fellow San Antonio Spurs fans or Giants fans or Christian Press fans, whatever brought you here, or just maybe me being a goofy guy, whatever it is, I can't thank you enough. This channel has done so much for me in life that wasn't expected. And even though the content's been light for 2023, I almost said 22, 23, the channel's not going away. And who knows, if we do get Victor Wembanyama in the draft, that certainly will bring eyeballs in. And, you know, I don't do this channel for views. I obviously don't do it for money. I refuse to do a sponsorship ever again. I don't have channel memberships. I do this channel for fun. But it is funner, with all due respect, having hundreds upon hundreds, maybe thousands of people watching as opposed to only 100. And I am very thankful for the 100 that are watching the vote TSR Sports fans. But you got to admit, it's fun when you have just the chats going so fast you can't read it, and then you get all those crazy, weird sex here, spam things coming in. You get a lot of fans from another team coming in, and hopefully get those days back as the Spurs become more interesting with the top pick going to the next season. I'm kind of rambling a bit, but I like talking to you guys, and I haven't talked to you in a while because I haven't done a Spurs video in 2 weeks. So let's see if we can do a Spurs video at least once a week and come up with something. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend. What a win last night. And as always, go Spurs go!